Once I built a tower up to the sun, brick and rivet and lime. Once I built a tower, now it's done. Brother, can you spare a dime?
This is the building I live in. It's 125 McLeod, downtown Ottawa, in the nation's capital. Welcome to community housing. Yes, that's right. I live in community housing. In my 40s, I had to move here just over a year ago because that's where life ended up. And that's where a lot of people's life ended up. I never thought I'd be here. And I tell you, this building is quite a little adventure to live in. So I thought I'd make a little video about it. And basically, here's my story about living in community housing in Ottawa. 125 McLeod.
Third murder of the year.
In an apartment building just blocks away from the Elgin Street police station.
The shooting happened around 6 this morning at 125 McLeod Street between Cartier and Elgin.
Murder! Stabbings! Eek! Bed bugs!
On my walk here, we walked past 9 people that were sleeping in doorways that slept through that ice storm last night, and it was just really heartbreaking to see that happening. And then as we're walking, we're seeing these signs for potential condos, more condos, and more condos, and more condos to house the what people. Because right now, I think the condos are sitting at about an 80% empty rate. So we need to have more affordable housing for people so that we can have less people out on the street and more people in a home.
So we were really excited in November on National Housing Day to have the first ever Canadian National Housing Strategy released. And we are especially excited about the $40 billion they've committed over the next 10 years to make that happen. So I personally, having done this work for the last 17 years, don't necessarily think that's going to solve our problem. But, and I also worry as an advocate that we can't screw this up, for lack of better words. So
obviously there was important investments over the last 50, 60 years across our country, more specifically in Ottawa, in housing. That housing is aging, and as you know, many of you know this, I'm the chair of Ottawa Community Housing. We have a strategy to renew the portfolio to ensure that we're able to house as many, if not more, folks from Ottawa, residents in Ottawa that need affordable housing.
So who lives here anyway?
My name is Mohammed, last name Islam. You can call me Mr. Islam. I'm the guy that wears a lot of silver.
Bubba.
Hi.
My name is Patrick.
Patrick. That's great.
Hey, I tell you, I'm famous.
Jerry.
Jerry?
Jerry.
And I'm Jeanette Tasunian, and this is my documentary.
Oh.
I take it home. Nice to see you. Want to know?
Why?
Well, nice to see you. Nice coming. Yeah.
My name is Catherine McKenney. I'm the City Councillor for Somerset Ward.
You're here at 125 McLeod, and this is Ottawa Community Housing, and you're here for a pool tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah. How did this come about?
Well, you know what? A bunch of us were talking about a month or so ago, and I understood that Patrick and some of the other tenants like to play pool. So I asked if I could come by sometime and have a game. So the tenants organized this pool tournament, and here we are. It's myself, there's Stefan, who is the CEO of Ottawa Community Housing, Tenants are here. Yeah. Let's get a picture of everyone together. I have friends who live in the building, and I used to work for the city council here, so I've been visiting this building probably for about 15 years.
Oh wow, that's great. What do you think about community housing? Do you think it's going good? I hear that there's been a lot of funding that's been going into housing.
Well, there is. I think that our buildings are. There are a lot of great communities in our buildings. As you can see here, people enjoy each other. They come out. They play together. They enjoy each other's company. If you look at, especially in this building, the gardens and the shared it's a perfect example of how community should function.
So today we got art dropping classes starting at 1 and it's already 1:30, so we're happening. Let's see what's going on. Ooh. All right.
Start this garden like 11 years ago.
No way, really?
Yeah, man, and me start this garden and me fix it and start it and bring the people them outside.
Oh, so now everybody else is working on it now. Yeah. So you don't even have to worry.
They went to it, yeah.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Community Housing is, an organization that is reports to City Council. So we do oversee Ottawa Community Housing, and there's always more to be done. There's always improvements made to how we manage, housing, so that it's a great place to live.
Like what kind of improvements do you know of? I know one of them was the bed bugs. I guess they decided to do an in-house program, and that's been improving a lot instead of contracting it out. That's one thing, right?
Absolutely. So I also sit on the board of Ottawa. So yes, we have what's called an integrated pest management program that has been quite successful in eradicating bed bugs, because they come in, they are in-house. It's an approach that is aggressive. They come in, we're not contracting out to somebody who might not show up for 2-3 weeks. So it really has worked.
Cockroaches, bed bugs, and pests. Oh my!
I got one. He must have just got in there too. He's struggling to get out. Frig. Hey there, Mr. Cockroach. That I caught by my stove. Third one I caught in, I don't know, a few months, I guess. 4 months or so. So there he is. called the exterminators. Stick them in there. I think these things are supposed to last forever, don't they? Where are ya? Hey there. Hello. Hello, little guy. Sorry, you're gonna die. So they did the cockroach inspection, and it turns out I wasn't seeing two different kinds of cockroaches. They are all German cockroaches. The big ones just happen to be the parents, and the little tiny black ones just happens to be the babies. So I got schooled by the pest control people, and it turns out that they here at Pest Management are trying to do some wonderful things by making it an in-house pest management thing that they did a few years ago. Therefore, since it's community housing owned pest management, they're actually supposed to be taking care of the pest problem better. And the guy was telling me it's going to be impossible to get rid of all the cockroaches and bed bugs because people keep moving in and out, and taking them in and out with them wherever they go. And even if you were to evacuate the whole building and spray down the whole building, as soon as people move back in, they bring it back in. So that would just cost a lot of money, and it wouldn't really do anything. So, okay, I'm all cool with that. So they ended up to do follow-up, but they treated my area, and after like about 4 or 5 days, all the cockroaches were gone. So I called them up and I told them I don't think there's any need. And a couple of weeks later, they were supposed to come and check, but nobody showed up that day. I guess I don't know. I wasn't here. But I make my place all nice and pretty because somebody's coming in and checking it out, and I'm having guests because there's always people coming in here. So I do that, and they don't come. So I get a notice saying they're coming the following week. So I wasn't available that day either. I think it was a Friday, April 5th or 6th, and apparently they didn't come here. And they called me the following Tuesday and said, "Oh, sorry, there just happens to be a lot of people that took last Friday off." Oh, no kidding, it's a Friday. And it's like, "Oh, we were short of staff." And I'm like, "Oh, you know what? When I was in jail, I heard this a lot. "Oh, sorry, you're locked down for the weekend because we're short staff." So that was kind of like, a kind of flashback to jail life, being here in community housing, just hearing that. So they finally came, looked around and said, "Oh, you don't have any cockroaches anymore. That's all right. We don't need to come back." It's like, well, yeah, I kind of told you guys that. I figured that out. But you guys have to make sure to make my apartment available 3 times in a row for you guys to come in because, I'm in community housing, which is public housing, which means there's no privacy. Absolutely no privacy whatsoever. And speaking of which, it looks like pretty soon, next week, I'll be having them come in again. I got another wonderful letter on my door saying they're coming in to replace the burners on my stove. Apparently cockroaches like heat. I wonder if that attracted this dude. This whole bed was covered with bed bugs, and I should have filmed it back then because there was no way that you could see all this nice whiteness. It was completely splattered all over the place with little black dots, and all those suckers would feed on me every time that I would lie down in bed, and I'd wake up with all these marks all over my body, and I didn't really know exactly how bad it was until I woke up and I went along my arm and I felt like there were scales on my arm. And I'm like, what the hell? I turned on my light, and I was covered with bed bugs. My whole entire arm had like a dozen of them feasting on me. It was absolutely sick and disgusting. On my bed here, community housing came in and they put this stuff on. It's some kind of wraparound sheet to keep, I don't know, in the bugs or out the bugs. I'm not quite sure of its purpose. So every little black spot I see on the floor, I think, oh, is that a bed bug? No, that's a piece of fuzz. They put these things on the foot of my futon here. I haven't really been getting bed bugs in it, but now I'm curious what that little piece is. Let's see. Put this in the light a bit more. Is that a bed bug? No, piece of dirt. Not a bed bug.
paying tribute to the landscapers here in the building. And Mary has cooked everything today, with the exception of the cookies and lemon milk. But we're having meatballs and pasta, vegetarian lasagna, smoked meat, and Mary, what are these little round things called again?
Kalari.
Kalari. What is the chutney cup?
It's an East Indian dish.
Yeah. Nice. And then we have cookies and lemon loaf after with some fresh fruit, which is on the table now over there. Lunch is finished. We normally have about 25-30 people come. Today's, you know, on a Thursday. The welfare day is tomorrow, so most of the tenants can't afford to come down. We charge a $2 fee, and OCH and security also normally attend. So that's the gist of everything. So if you want, grab a plate and I'll serve you. And here comes dessert. Dessert, everybody, is on the table now if you'd like something sweet.
I just want to say thanks to the students that comes out every summer from the spring to, hey you, I didn't tell you to tape this. To come out from spring to fall and to help us, especially at 125 McLeod Street, because we always have lots of bed bug garbage to get rid of. And every time we have lots of garbage in the back, lots of tenants calls, because if we don't get a pickup right away, we get all annoyed. So I just want to say thank you guys very much. And we do appreciate it a lot. So also on behalf of my church.
My name is Jeff Smith, and I'm the junior pastor at Cross Point Baptist Church in Navan.
And where?
In Navan.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And right now we are holding outreach services in Vanier. And so Mary and Christine and possibly others have come from this building out to those outreach services there in Vanier. And so just through those church locations, we have a relationship with Mary.
So I just want to say thanks to Father in Heaven for giving me strength all this time, for continue to live in this building for the past 8 years. It is very stressful to live here. But every year I keep saying I'm moving out, but...
Pasado en mi cuerpo lo que consumí, los momentos que me desgarraron, los llevo presentes en mí, los proyectos que fracasaron, toda la gente a la que conocí, las personas que me lastimaron.
Okay. My name is Christine. I've been a resident of Brook Towers for almost 4 years, come February. And I feel quite privileged having this accommodation, or I would have been homeless at one point. And I've had some mental health issues, addiction issues, and so I fit the profile quite well to move here. It was my understanding, excuse me, my understanding that there were people, it was a mixed building, people with addiction issues, mental health issues, and senior citizens, market housing, some people escaping violence, which is my most recent situation. That gave me priority housing, and I was placed here within 3 to 6 months of me arriving from British Columbia, and it's my understanding that there are many others still awaiting housing. There's a wait list of over 10,000 people, so I appreciate having the opportunity to live here and have a place of my own. We've had some difficult situations in the building, been victimized by violence in the building, and we're now increasing our security presence and we now have new property managers. I've seen many improvements over the last 4 years. Mary's here with us, so she's visiting in my home, and she's our tenant leader and can maybe give you some more information revolving around the community here.
I live here at Brook Towers since 2010 August. I came here through an abusive relationship, and I was surprised that I got in here faster. I was on the waiting list for a subsidized housing for almost 8 years, and I got in here within 2 months, I would say. It's a beautiful building, but just some of the tenants, it's a mixed environment of addictions, mental health issues, and it's a community housing. Despite we went through a lot in our building, criminal-wise, it was very traumatizing for a lot of us in the building, but we have come through a lot of our struggles through the Ottawa Police and through Crime Prevention Ottawa and through the Community Safety Services with Ottawa Community Housing Security. We have all pulled together and worked together with SALAS, which is our other mental health partnership with Ottawa Community Housing.
What's SALAS?
That's the organization I work for.
Okay, you don't want to be on video right now, right?
Yeah, I'd rather not.
Okay. All right. So it's an organization.
Yeah. We work in partnership with OCH, and so we help out with programming and that kind of stuff. Helping build community.
Cool, right on.
I like to help people, right? I'm from Jamaica.
Oh, you're from Jamaica originally?
I'm a Jamaica guy,
Yeah, you got the accent.
Love people.
You love people?
Yeah, I love people.
Yeah, you're always around people whenever I see you, which is totally awesome. I guess this is a good building for that, isn't it? Like everybody hangs around and stuff? Yeah, that's cool.
This building is a great building. There's a lot of old people with a lot of wisdom. There's a lot of young people with a lot of energy, but also sometimes they be partying too much. You want to keep safe from stuff like that. Also, be careful who you let in the building, because sometimes there's just random people that try and get in here and cause ruckus. So you always got to ask them, hey, do you live here?
That's cool. Did he just get chased out from the back?
Yeah, that guy, man.
The cleaner guy?
Yeah, I started like walking because he had like a thing in the door, and then he went and like shut it. He's like, "You're not allowed in here." I'm like, "I live here, man. I don't have my phone."
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then he came at me with the thing. I was like, "Oh, bro."
Yeah, I was wondering. I was gonna use the back door, and I was wondering what that's about. But you live here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I just got a new wig too. I should have wore it.
Oh, don't worry about it.
I have bald spots because this place won't let me grow hair. I'm stressed. My name is Sylvie Renault. I live at 125 McLeod. Do hems and pants. Starting a business called Miss Sew, and it's Miss Sews Just For You at gmail.com. Anybody have extra sewing equipment? I'd be glad to take it. can even pick it up.
About your comic book?
With it, crack addict cat?
Yeah, is it about a bunny? Is it a cat now?
No, I have one made from the first apartment I've ever had. This is my second, and I have most people here. It's a venting thing. But now I have, because they stole my cat, so I created a crack addict cat. So it starts with her walking around the table, and she's just walking around and she smells pot. And that's how it starts. And she goes, mmm. So she lays on the table and she's there licking herself, and she got so stoned she couldn't even get up and get some water. So she decides to drink the beer. It was liquid to her. So she slips it, so she becomes a drunk. And then she's walking on the table again, and she goes back to her bed, and she's just licking her paws, and then she just crack on it, and her eyes go bing, and becomes the crack addict cat. And I can make a suit like this, by the way. I can make anything you wear.
In the end, it's about it's about the supports that we put into the building so that everybody feels safe and everybody feels well supported.
Oh, okay. Actually, it's kind of interesting because everybody seems to be happy here, and there was a murder in this building just like, 2 months ago, not even.
Yeah, it was very.
And that seemed to have shocked everybody.
Absolutely, yeah. So I was in a couple days after, and we've had a couple of meetings since. And that is, anytime that happens in your neighborhood, it can happen in any neighborhood. It didn't happen because it was on family housing. We had a shooting 2 blocks from my house a month ago. And,
oh, wow.
4 blocks, actually, this weekend. So, but anytime that happens in any neighborhood, it can be traumatizing for residents. It can be, it can take a couple of days, a couple of weeks for people to react to that.
And I thought, I should be dead. Nobody would know. Nobody would know. And that's not fair, because I have a lot to give.
Well, one girl wants to rip my face off because she has mental problems. It's just their mental problems. It's not their fault.
Yeah, there's a lot of that here.
Yeah. So you can't be mad at them. But it's a fact of life, so I kind of stay in my house a lot. Because I don't want to look in my mirror and see a scar on my face because somebody has a mental problem. It would be unfair to me. But everybody has good inside them. Just never forget that.
It's such a scary building. Some people, seem to think. We've had a situation in January where there was a death involving violence, and I just want people to understand this is a community within a community.
That and the murder.
Yeah, those things. Yeah, there's definitely problems. Oh wait. Let's get a bit into the problems. So like, the building is deteriorating from inside out, right? So there's like a lot of renovations that need to be going on, and so that's
all the
one
notices on the door of people coming in, like how many times per month in your apartment you get, right? That sucks. Looks like there's notes on this door again. Oh yeah, there's always notes on the door. Yep, looks like there's notices on the door again today. What is it today? Let's find out. Oh, another fire drill. Oh, gotta love these. Oh, yeah, perfect. We have these, a couple of times a month? So just got an announcement that they're now doing a different test, and I got it through this thing, which is an intercom that's in my apartment unit. And this intercom freaked me out totally the first time it went on, because I had no idea there was some kind of speaker system inside my apartment unit. Right now you're hearing it coming from the hallway. And it's really fun when it comes into the actual apartment itself. So this comes from here in my apartment. And this happens about once a month. Yay!
Attention please. The test of the voice communication system is now over. The test of the voice communication system is over. Please resume normal activities. Attention s'il vous plaît. Attention s'il vous plaît.
The water was turned off.
Yeah, there was a flooding, I guess.
Yeah.
It's around 9:30 a.m. and the water shut off. So they put this on my door on the weekend, and I was away for the weekend, so it was probably there all weekend. I put some water in my sink just in case I needed to wash my hands or something. Oh, this happens. Oh, I don't know. I've been here almost a year. What? 3, 4, 5 times now. I'm not sure. There's notices for everything.
The elevators are always breaking down.
That too.
Have you been stuck in it? Have you been stuck in an elevator?
Fortunately for me, I actually haven't.
Okay.
It's freezing in here. Jeez.
Welcome to Ottawa Community Housing. Bienvenue à la Société de logement communautaire d'Ottawa. Pour le service en français, appuyez sur le 9. For service in English, please stay on the line. Ottawa Community Housing has recently made changes to the selection options. Please listen carefully or press pound to repeat the options. For safety services or to register overnight visitor parking, press 1. To speak with maintenance services for all repair requests, including pest management and lock changes, press 2. To speak with office staff for questions related to your tenancy, rent payments, reviews, or transfers, press. Your call may be recorded for quality and training purposes. Your call is important. Please stay on the line and your call will be answered in sequence. Ottawa Community Housing Meeting, Sandra speaking. How can I help you?
Oh, hi there. I live at 125 McLeod, and it's been freezing the last few nights, and I was just wondering, when is the heat going to be expected to be turned on?
So they usually wait until the temperature stabilizes a bit, so it should be maybe another week or so.
Until, the temperature gets stabilized?
Yeah.
Oh, what does that mean?
Well, when it's,
like steadily cool during the day and in the evening?
Oh, it was like 6 last night. That was pretty cold. It's like October 1st today, so like, when do you know that the heat?
Yeah, but it's gonna be 22 on Wednesday.
It's gonna be 22 on Wednesday.
Or 20, yeah, or on Thursday, 23 on Thursday. So that's what they mean by stabilizing. Like, yes, it was cool last night, but it's gonna be warm again. So.
It's pretty freezing. Like it's Monday, so if it's gonna be 22 on Thursday, that's kind of brutal.
Well, the only thing I can offer you is if I can transfer you to your property manager.
Okay, that'd be great.
Because they are the ones that are in charge of dealing with that. Just a minute. Okay, I'll transfer you over now.
Okay, cool.
Thanks. Kathy speaking. Can I help you?
Oh, hi there. I was just wondering when the heat was going to be turned on at 125 McLeod.
If it hasn't been done already, it should be done within the next day or so.
Oh, in the next day or so? Oh, that would be wonderful. It's been cold the last few days.
Oh my God, I can't live like this. I gotta make some money and get out of this hellhole. I better make a really good video really soon.
So you plan on staying here like forever or as long as you can?
Well, I have financial ambitions. I hope to, you know, become somewhat wealthy sometime soon in the future, hopefully. You know, there's many things at work.
Any plans on how you're gonna do that?
Well, actually, I can list a few. Stock market, penny stocks.
How long have you been living here for?
17 years.
17 years? Wow, that's a while.
Going to 18 years, yeah.
Wow, that's a while. You like it here then, eh?
I like it here, yeah.
No plans on ever moving? Gonna stay here for the rest of your life?
No, you never know, you know.
Do you like living here?
No.
How long have you lived here?
4 years almost.
Would you rather be somewhere else?
Yes.
Do you know anybody who does like living here?
Not as far as I've heard.
Oh, okay. You want to say that more in a sentence?
But right now they're doing a lot of improvements. I appreciate it. They're painting. They're even going to change those carpets, which they should have done 4 years ago. And all I care about is I want to put a sheet over my door so I don't have the dust in my house. And but the people are okay here. They have problems. I got problems, you know? Nobody's perfect.
There's so many more people that have the need for housing, and this really has to be addressed over the coming years. Inflationary rates and food and television and phone and gas and everything. No one in earning less than $13,000 a year can continue to survive. We need an adjustment. We need an increase. We don't need decreases in our funding, and we need to receive more money every month than we're receiving now to equalize, you know. And I'm uncertain about this. Our new government coming in, our government leaders, they don't seem very sympathetic to the poor, impoverished people of the world. And we need to make an awareness. We all need to raise our voice and speak out and participate in communities to gain our strength, to give us more opportunities. And that's really all I have to say. Thank you for doing this, Jeanette.
Cool.
Much appreciate your efforts.
Nice.
You're welcome.
That was good.